What's going on, Eagles Nation? This is your boy, AK Eagles, and I am the host of the Eagles Uncensored podcast. And with me today, I have a very special guest of mine, Philly Talk Podcast. What's going on, my guy? How you doing? Thank you for coming here. I've been trying to get you on for a couple weeks now. Things haven't been going, but we finally got it done. I appreciate you, man, and everything you do for all us little content creators, man. So shout out to you, bro.
A year and a half ago, I was in the same spot, and the thing was, when I started, there were still the goats and all that stuff too, and they were definitely willing and helping. But me, because there wasn't so many on the scene like there is now. I mean, now there's you can count almost up to 20 of us if you really dig deep. It wasn't as there wasn't as many collabs a year and a half ago. Everybody was doing their own thing, but I love the grind and I appreciate it. And we trying to get you to 100. And if you don't get to 100 by this one, we're gonna have. I would love you to come on my show, not as a channel member, but as a content creator next week, and I guarantee you we get you over 100.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and everyone, don't forget, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so when I go live or drop content, you can see it. And at 100 subscribers, giving away a free Jaylen Hurts jersey. If you want to see that, go back and watch my video on my celebrating 70 subs, and I bring it out in that to show everyone. So definitely check that out if you're interested to see what it looks like. So, yeah, man, I've been down to do this for a long time. You know, I've been following you, 3, 4, 5 months now, and always in your chats, always communicating with you, but we've never actually had the chance to do this face to face. So I am totally excited. So my first question for you, man, and I pretty much ask everyone that I bring on for the first time, is what made you an Eagles fan?
Woo. Man, I just love it. I mean, I'm from the area, not exactly Philadelphia, but Pennsylvania. But we're about 55 to an hour away from the Link and the Wells Fargo, and it's been Philly everything. I played basketball at a young age, and it was always the Sixers. And then, my love for football came, and I love to play basketball more, but I love to watch football more. And so the Eagles still take the highest ranks in my sports. And it was about 8 or 9 years old. You know what I mean? I mean, I probably watched it, and my family was Eagle fans, but I really wasn't. I can't say I actually sat down and started enjoying it until I was about 7, 8, 9-ish. And it was McNabb. It was McNabb, Reed era. And it really wasn't them. It was just the wing, the helmets, the grit, the toughness. And I loved it. And I fell in love ever since.
Yeah, no, I believe we're right around the same age, actually. You're 30, right?
Correct.
You're 3 years younger than me, 33. And to be honest, we only live like an hour away from each other, and we each live about an hour from Philly. So that's how it all started for me, man. I actually am from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And when I was a kid, Washington actually had their spring training right here in Carlisle at Dickinson College. I don't know if you remember that or not, but for the longest time during the 80s and 90s, they did that. And that's actually what made me an Eagles fan, because my dad and my brother are huge Redskin fans. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I went the complete opposite from them,
That's one tree you want the apple to fall far from.
Yeah. And trust me, no matter what, my kids are going to be Eagle fans. Like they can't be nothing else. That's just what it is. So yeah, my next question for you, bro, is give me your top 5 Eagles of all time. Just your personal top 5.
Personal top 5. Well, Brian Dawkins is going to be up there on number 1, just because he embodies what you believe a Philadelphia Eagle should be. The heart, the soul, the passion, the leaving it out there on the field, to understanding when the crowd boos in Philadelphia and what it means. It's tough love. It's never something that you can't turn it around. So he's gonna have to take number 1. And my number 2 guy has to go to Donovan McNabb, for the simple fact that was my quarterback from, like I said, 8 all the way up until I was a teenager. And I mean, I don't know about you, but like again, we're 30 and 33 years old. We're still youngish. But probably my favorite time to talk my talk when I was really I don't give a bleep was in my teenage to high school years. And that's when Donovan McNabb was rocking out with the Philadelphia Eagles and taking us to championship after championship after championship. And we end up losing these games. But again, as I became a 25-year-old, I settled. Once I had kids, I settled down. You know, girlfriends, wives, kids settled down. But when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, and I was really trying to be in my bag, Donovan McNabb gave me great moments, and he's definitely in my top 5. I'm going to have to go over to Brian Westbrook. Westbrook is my dude as well. LaShawn McCoy. And then I'm going to round out the 5 with... it's tough. It's tough. I love a lot of Eagles. I'm going to have to end out the 5 with... it's real tough. It's real tough. But I'm going to go Jeremiah Trotter. You know what I mean? I loved him in the middle. The first time, not the second time. He was a step slow, but I still loved him coming back. That will be my top 5 Eagles. Couple cornerback plays. And again, you know, the Reggie Whites and the Randall Cunningham's. I watched them on highlights. I was just a little too young to really feel the passion. Not saying they weren't great players, but to me, I got to pick people that I actually like, you know, cried for and watched before I just go the greats of the past.
Well, and see, that's where my top 5 differs a little bit, just because I am 3 years older than you. I was born in '88. I did get to see a little bit of Randall, you know, so that is why I do put Randall as my number 1 and Reggie as my number 2. And then I have Donovan as my 3. I have Brian Dawkins as my 4. And then the one that I told everyone, and it's my shocker for even me, but I even put Selleck as my 5th. And the only reason that I do that is because, respectively, you know, Selleck revolutionized our tight end. You know, like I loved Selleck, and how he was just a mentor to Ertz, and how he took everything, and you know, he left on a respectable terms. You know, like hands down, dude, Selleck was awesome to me. I really admire that guy.
Yeah, and real quick for the chat, Brian Dawkins was my number 1. So they were like, wait, no Brian Dawkins? It was Dawkins, McNabb, Westbrook, McCoy, and I put Jeremiah Trotter. But I might have to sub Jeremiah out for Zach Ertz. Like, he's about to be up out of here soon, but I can't forget what he's done for me. Man, put a ring on my finger. And, you know what I mean? I might have to pop out Jeremiah, you know what I mean? But Brian Dawkins was my number 1.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah, no doubt, all-time favorite defensive player of all time of mine is Brian Dawkins, for sure, 100%. Just because of the energy he brought every Sunday, man, it was wow. So my third question is, you know, we're gonna get off that, you know, old stuff now, and we're gonna get to right now, and let's talk about this disrespect on Hurts a little bit, man. Like, give me your thoughts. What do you feel, you know?
Well, I can understand anybody being realistic, you know, analyzing him and saying that they have concerns. I can understand that. But when the concerns take you to outside of top 40, when there's only 32 teams, it's ridiculous. You're saying that we can't, you know, they're saying that there's backups in the NFL that are more adequate than Jalen Hurts. And that's where it just goes a step too high for me. If I'm really trying to be nitpicky, having my Eagles love and everything in it, from what I saw last year, you know, if you would have asked me this, if you would have had 3.5 games of what I saw in Arizona and the Saints, he'd be ranked up pretty high. But the Dallas Cowboys game did happen. Half the Washington game did happen where we were struggling in the air. And so I got Jalen Hurts around 22 to 27, put him in that category just because of the unknown factor. But that does not mean that he can't and he won't show out this year, because everybody before the actual light shined on them was like a wait and see. And even if you know, the Trevor Lawrences right now, who are ranked higher without playing. You know, I know a lot of people really hate it, and some people, it doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, it's a ranking. It's what they're projecting. He hasn't played yet, but normally, if you are the highly scouted quarterbacks, you know, if there's 4 highly scouted quarterbacks, 2 of them are going to do great, and 2 of them are going to maybe bust out. It's like a 50% chance. You know what I mean? And so, out of these first round picks, out of Zach Wilson, Lawrence, I forgot the dude for the Niners already. If you know.
Oh, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance, yeah, it slipped my mind. At least one of them are going to be really good. So we'll see. But, you know, Jalen Hurts, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better work ethic, a better demeanor, a guy who's willing to put in the work and not just talk about and not just want the limelight for the things off the field. So I'm very excited in what he's going to do. And these lists are going to, you're going to see him start flipping them up because as Philly Fresco, Joe Castro showed, they got him high on the fantasy football rankings, and because Russian quarterbacks get you fantasy stats, and so they're saying maybe he's not the most accurate, but he's going to be rushing for yards and throwing touchdowns or rushing touchdowns. So it's going to translate to some type of production on the field. But the consistency is what I'm like really going to try to see if he can do it.
Yo, what's up, Bird Gang? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. Philly Insider Podcast, Primetime Stephen Joyce, Big Play Slay, Philly Girl. What's going on, everyone? Ethan, how you doing, buddy? Philly Ace. Who else am I missing here? Yeah, there's so many. 12 people in the chat. Listen, guys, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn the notification bell on. As soon as I get 100 likes, I am going to be giving away a free Jalen Hurts jersey to one lucky winner. If you want to see what that jersey looks like, go back and watch the video to celebrate 70 subs. I pull it out in that video if you would like to see what it looks like. But, yeah, and then, you know, let's talk about the Sanders thing, you know, being 27th on that list. You know?
That's, again, if you put in what he did last year, just production-wise, there's a lot of people who probably outdid him solely because of the lack of opportunity. Opportunity is what he needs. When given the chance, we saw, you know, when you have a high yards per carry, if you are a player who only plays seldomly, you can have a high yards per carry because you touch the ball, you know, in a season 30 times only. But they really look at the threshold at 150 plus rushes, and he had 160 something. I'm not sure. He should be over that 200. I'm not asking him to get 300 carries. I like between 205 to 245, 250. That's where Miles should be. With that being said, we cannot deny the talent's there. I think in the sense of ball security, that definitely waved its ugly head, and we saw them problems in college and Penn State. The receiving ability he had in his rookie season where he was catching 40-yard bombs and stuff went down, but he started to develop some patience, hit the holes a little faster, and we saw back-to-back home run type plays. Where's Aiden? He's sleeping right now downstairs, and if he wakes up, I got the wifey on lock. You know what I'm saying? You put a 14-year-old in charge, 15-year-old charge, because that's my wife's son, my stepson, and he just lets him come upstairs. You know what I mean? My son's a boss, though. He could walk up the stairs. Just afraid to go down. That's why I brought him with me. But back to the topic at hand. Miles Sanders is going to show out. We all thought, and you thought, you just weren't talking about it, that he was going to have a great sophomore season because you weren't there in the last offseason. But between Doug and Carson and the funk of the 2020 Eagles offense, it derailed him. Now he's going to get his opportunity. He has to make it happen, and I believe he's going to push inside the top. I did say 10. I say top 12. He's going to get inside the top 12 this year, because the opportunity is going to meet preparation. But if I had to say 2 things I need him to do, ball security and stay healthy, because he did miss what, 4 games?
Yeah. Now, I have a honest question for you. If he can't stay healthy this year, say he misses like 6 or 7 games, do you say that's the end of Miles Sanders in Philly?
Depending on what kind of deal he would take. If he's going to take I mean, nobody's going to try to shortchange yourself. But here's the thing: we could depending on what he misses for. Now, if it's a season-end injury at the end, you gotta really look at it. It gotta be situational context. Got to be provided. If he gets nicked up a couple times in a 17-game season and misses 3 to 4, again, I think you say, okay, this guy has proven that he can't play a whole season. This is what we're offering because he does have upside. And this is a league now where you got to have 2 or 3 backs anyways. You know what I mean? There's not many of the Derrick Henrys or CMCs where it's them only. I would say there's like 9 running backs in the league that really say, who's the other running back? And it's the other 20 to 21 teams where they have a really good running back, but another guy who can get the job done. With that being said, you let him test free agency. And if the market says, you're injured a little bit and we're going to offer you the same around Philly, then why would he leave Philly for the same market price? So I think, once you let someone test free agency, there's always a risk that someone's going to overpay. But if injuries are a problem, we have to go that route then.
Yeah. Yo, 14 people in the chat right now. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for coming in. Please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe. Please turn the notification bell on. At 100 subscribers, going to give away a free Jalen Hurts jersey. So please don't be late. Get in that raffle right now while it's still available. I think we only got like 21 spots left. So, let's get it done as quick as possible here. But God bless. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Get this man to 100.
Thank you. And thank you for being here, man. I do appreciate you. Devontae Smith, do you believe the hype, and what do you see him doing this year?
I believe the hype. Listen, I've talked it down. I'm not going to say I'm not worried about his size. Again, Deshaun Jackson was small, but he was also a guy that we didn't really want to be a volume catcher. But I do think everything he offers besides the size is just exactly what the Eagles need. I made a video a little bit ago talking about the wide receiver group, and the 2 main reasons why I think this whole group is going to do better is one, Devontae Smith and Nick Sirianni. I think Nick Sirianni is not going to just line these guys up and say post route, dig route, comeback route, out route. He's going to motion them, get them into favorable matchups. Defense are going to say, where's number 6? Where's number 6? Oh, first down. Where's number 6? Where's number 6? Touchdown. We're going to move him around. He's at that point where he can play the X, the Y, the Z, move in the backfield, take some jet sweep. So I think we're going to give him a heavy workload. Listen, he won the Heisman, right? And that could be a burden. I mean, a blessing or a burden. The reason I say it could be a burden is because Jaylen Waddle went before him. Jamar Chase went before him. This guy won the Heisman, and I know Jaylen Waddle and Jamar Chase didn't play. However, there hasn't been a Heisman-winning wide receiver in 2 decades. So he's coming out to show that this is why I won the Heisman, and if he doesn't perform, it's going to be an all-time letdown, and he just holds himself so highly that I just don't see it being possible. And then you look at the long line of great Alabama receivers: Julio, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy just came out, Henry Ruggs, and Jaylen Waddle, his partner in crime, who didn't win the Heisman, came out before him. So he's going to be motivated by the past, the present, and the future. And I don't see number 6 getting stopped. He's going to make his mark on his rookie season, especially in the lead role, and having a head coach who came into the business as a wide receiver guy. Can't ask for more.
Yeah. And I made the comment yesterday, and I don't know if I catch a lot of flack for it or not, but it is what it is. He played in the SEC. That's where most of the great corners come from, is the SEC. They translate very well to the NFL. Okay. Well, if he's over there and he's catching 120 catches in college, and I know there is a difference between the levels of the NCAA and the NFL, but if you're already doing it against the greats, there's no reason why that shouldn't translate into the NFL. Because even though the game is different, you're still playing the same players. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So.
Yeah, but the only thing that's scary is the safety play and the linebacker play. They're bigger, so around coming across the middle. But like I said, I saw him get licked up by our 7th round pick, Jacoby Stevens, and he got back up. He said, "Let's go." For a guy who's supposed to be so brittle, he didn't miss no time in college except for the championship game. But oh wait, he left at halftime, but he already had 3 tubs. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Nest.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Foothills, for being here. And also, just so you guys know, starting tomorrow at 4 p.m., me and Mr. Foothills here, we started a new podcast called The East Meets West. And that's where, we bring in the East Coast birds and the West Coast birds together and everyone in between. So please go and check us out there tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll be our first one tomorrow. I'm excited for that.
I'm going to definitely check that out. I see we got almost 20 people in the chat. It's looking good.
Thank you. 20 people in here. Yes, if anybody's new in this chat, please go like, subscribe, hit your notification bell, giving away a free Jalen Hurts jersey at 100 subs. So please don't miss out on that. So, my next question then is, what do you predict we do at CB2, man?
I really think the Eagles are going to, they made all the moves this offseason showing that in this rebuild / retooling era, they want to be competitive. They went out and signed Anthony Harris on a 1-year deal, Eric Wilson, a veteran backup, Ryan Kerrigan, guys who can offer production and try to push for a possible contract in the future. Not so much of Kerrigan, but the likes of Anthony Harris and Eric Wilson. With that being said, there's 2 guys out there. Steven Nelson, who stays flirting with us on Twitter, and Richard Sherman, who supposedly is pondering coming to the Eagles. With that being said, our biggest hurdle is money. We have to fix the money side of things. But Zach Ertz is the solution to the problem. And although he's in my top 5 Eagles, it's time. You know what I mean? It's time. I love my kids, but when they turn 18, you got to get out my house. It's time. It's time. I'm sorry, Zach. It's ran its course. I think it's just bad blood between both of them. I wish him the best, and he's going to eat. If he gets to a team with the Stephon, he goes to the Bills, eating, Packers, eating. If you got a number 1 wide receiver, which we've never had a number 1 wide receiver in Zach Ertz's tenure, you get him a number 1 wide receiver, he's going to eat because you can't bracket coverage him and stuff. I think his yak yards come back a little bit, and he's going to go ahead and do what he do. But right now, our tight end room is more solidified than our CB2. So if you want to be competitive, Howie Roseman, go get one of them guys. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch your tiger by the toe.
Yeah. Well, is there anyone on this team right now that you like at all?
For CB2?
Yeah.
Not with any confidence. If we had to play next week, if next Sunday we had to play a game, I would probably just put Avonte Maddox on the outside and see what happens. And then you have to disguise and rotate coverage to help him out. And that leaves a slot open to one of these guys, the dude from the Vikings, Josiah Scott, McPherson, one of these guys. I would just say, Avonte, do your best and roll coverage and protect it. That's what I would do. That's not what we want to hear, though, but that is what I would do. Michael Jaquette's on the squad. there's a couple guys, but again, I think the most experience, just knowing areas, spots, and using leverage to help him is Avonte Maddox, even though he's short. So I would definitely need to just roll the dice.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. No, we when I went and I did my lineup a few videos ago for us, that was the hardest one to go through right there. Trying to figure out everything after Darius Slay, like that took me probably 20 minutes just to think about all that. You know what I mean? Because that's a very tough position to go through right now.
It
But
really
hey,
is.
Richie, just so you know, man, tomorrow it's actually on Philly Foothills channel, so you got to take that up with him, man. You want 90s rap music, you got to ask him for that. I have no control over that tomorrow.
There you go. Rotate the channels.
Yeah, we're gonna swap back and forth.
That's how you do it.
Um, should we be concerned that LD isn't signed right now?
No, it's solely on the money situation, trying to just move this here, move this there, move that there. I can't think of another reason why. I mean, he's an offensive lineman. He's not. I have never heard of an offensive lineman getting drafted in the second round and just trying to hold out or anything like that. And if there was any ill will in it, it'd be all reported and leaked out by the front office and stuff. So I think it's just the crossing the T's, dotting the I's when it comes to the cap, because you got to understand Kerrigan, Harris, Wilson, Flacco. These guys were brought in an offseason where we started out negative 50. You know what I mean? So it definitely was an uphill battle, but we got it. And shout out to Eagle Slayer 95, said just sub to Uncensor. You're the future, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do, man. Each and every one of you in here, I am very blessed. It's like I've been telling everyone, I've only been doing this for maybe a month and a half now. And just the people that I've been able to meet and collab with and get to know behind the scenes, like it's just a blessing, man. This community is something very special we got going on here. And we all each respect one another's opinions and everything that we do. And we all feed off each other. And like I told you backstage, man, I respect everything you do for us little guys. You guys pave the way for us, and you guys make this possible. And you and Joe Castro are the reason that I'm even doing this right now. Because you guys inspired me enough to do this. So, and I've told you that many of times. And
Speak.
I just love your stuff, man, and I respect the things you do. And, I'll see you up there someday.
Speaking of the devil, Philly podcast just jumped up in here. No, I'm just kidding.
There he is. Speaking of him, thank you for coming in, my guy. Appreciate you. So, left tackle. What do you think of that position, and how do you see that playing out?
Well, when we did the channel member thing and it was you, Burman, Vic 3, and Eric G, y'all all sided with Mulata. And I was just trying to speak up some confidence in Dillard. But I do agree. I think Mulata showed why he deserves it. Now, again, every year is a reset, and this is a new coaching staff, not a new offensive line coach. So that could play a part. I think Jeff Stalin looks at Mulata like this is my baby. I made this. I transformed this rugby guy into a formidable left tackle, protect the blind side. So I think it's going to be hard. And I do not like to just comment on someone's comments, you know what I mean? But from what Diller said, he was pretty confident, pretty strong-willed. And you didn't see that when he spoke to the media last year. He was just, down on himself. When we end up moving him from left to right and he got obliterated, he was just like, well, what do you want me to do? He just kind of like folded his hands, gave up, and you see a different guy. I think after having a rookie season like that, and then watching your sophomore season go down the drain, it's inspires somebody. You come into the league as a first round pick. You're like this. We about to chill out. This is yeah. And then you watch a 7th round rugby guy grind every day and take your spot. Why you can't do nothing about it because your arm's in a sling. That will humble somebody. It will humble somebody, and it could provide the spark to make them the reason why he was a first round pick. There's a reason why we moved up in front of the Texans to get him, and the one thing we do not draft wrong is offensive linemen, whether it's in the 5th round, 1st round. So there was something that Andre Dillard showed in college, which I can't remember I don't remember all his tape like that at this point, but he showed something. I think he got humbled, and I do believe he's going to put up a fight, which is a good thing for the Eagles.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And at this point, to me, Dillard just makes a solid backup because the progression and how much Mailata has been able to soak in over these 5 years of playing for this team, and just his football knowledge alone that he's been able to soak in, man, it's impressive how much he's grown in so little of a time. At this point, you kind of have to keep him in to see where he goes, because at this point, what is this guy's ceiling? He's a big individual. He is a freak. You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean, I think he won a lot of battles last year off just soul, muscle. He starts getting more of his hand technique right, feeling comfortable in the system. He could be in it. Listen, I still remember when Quez Watkins caught that touchdown. One of his lead blockers from the 5-yard line all the way up to from 5 yards past the line of scrimmage to 15 yards past the line of scrimmage was Jordan Mailata, knocking down guys left and right. You know what I mean? So I respect the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and Foothills here, he makes a great point, and I made this comment a while back. I believe Dillard is the only person who isn't able to play multiple positions. Am I correct on that? Everyone else is versatile on our offensive line but Dillard.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say he can play any guard positions. I would think he could play left guard. It's a different game. It's a more lower type game. You're asked to use more strength than speed, and that was his one problem. He needed to get stronger, but he did come to this. He came to the podium heavier. He looked stronger and heavier, but the left guard is a guy who wants to be more stronger, more lower to the ground, more flat feet. The tackles you want to get out because them edge rushers want to get up. They want to, get outside and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's harder to go from left guard to left tackle than left tackle to left guard. But I'll give you that. But the Texans, they're in shambles too. But they wanted Dillard with their pick, and we moved up to get him. I think we took him at 17. And again, the Eagles, if there's one thing that I would bet, we take a wide receiver that's outside the top 10, hold your breath. We take a lot of positions, hold your breath, but not offensive linemen. And so again, I think a slice of humble pie is going to do him well, and I expect to see a good competition. But yes, right now I would say that Mailata definitely is the lead guy.
Okay. Okay, so I asked this question to Gates and Foothills yesterday on Gates' show. Who do you believe has the bigger upside, Bradley or Taylor at linebacker position? Now, I say Bradley is ready to play now, but Taylor has the bigger upside. But what's your opinion on that?
They're both my guys, just solely because I had them on a channel, and once you it's hard. But
yeah, it doesn't mean they're both bad, or it doesn't mean neither of them are bad. Nah. It's just they're both good. Who's just got the bigger upside?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Davion Taylor's upside is definitely there. I mean, he's he can run almost a 4.3. You get a linebacker at that size able to move like that. that's upside in its own right, especially when this game is translating to speed, speed on the outside, speed everywhere, speed kills. You're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see a lot of linebackers come in this league a lot lighter, more agile. You're going to see more hybrid safety linebacker players as it gets as the 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is definitely changing. Bradley would be probably the guy who can come in, set up in a defensive stance, make the initial read and hit. But where I think he caps out, I think Davion has another gear. We just got to get it out of him. He was a guy, and he talked about this on my podcast that, he wasn't allowed to come outside after, I forgot what all the things, but like he played for the football team and he couldn't play the games because on Friday night or whatever night it was that he had to play, his mom wouldn't let him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he struggled through that. And to have that passion of a game to do what he did means a lot. So I think he's going to put in the work. And I'm excited to see what he does. I would agree with you on that assessment of him.
Oh, yeah. No, I think highly of both of them, man. Like, I actually like both of those picks when we picked them last year. But, I mean, like, how do you see this linebacker core right now? Do you see them getting actual playing time this year, or do you think they're both going to sit one more year and get a little more experience,
Hearing Gannon talk about Eric Wilson being the mic, getting Alex Singleton on a tenure. Now, this is not like a big deal because a tenure was cheap. He's getting paid the absolute minimum to play 1 year, and it's a prove-it deal. So because he's on a prove-it deal, I think you're going to let him play a little bit. We do got Davion Taylor locked up for 3 or 4 more years. 3 years because it's a 4-year deal. With that being said, I can see it being Eric Wilson, Alex Singleton, and TJ Edwards. And then, if we see some declining in an Alex Singleton, if Eric Wilson ain't who we thought he was, especially in run coverage because he got exposed a little bit in that sort, even though I think our D-line can really clean that up for him. If TJ Edwards gets hurt, which he's been getting hurt every year now, I think Davion Taylor is the first one up off the bench. Shout out to Jacoby Stevens and stuff from LSU, but I would say Davion Taylor's the first one up off the bench, following by Sean Bradley.
Now, a lot of people, they forget about Avery. And my other question is, does Avery even make this team? And 2, do you see even Kerrigan playing some stand-up linebacker at times other than DE?
I would say no. I don't know. I mean, if we go into a 3-4, yeah, but I think we'll stay more of a 4-3. I don't really know. I got to see what Gannon does in that sort. If he does, you definitely will see him stand up, and that's where you can get creative. And he'll be a stand-up pass rusher like a joker in the joker position. But then on certain plays where you see a quarterback trying to get to a hot read in the slot behind Kerrigan, he fakes in the rush, drops back, and that's how you get them picks and stuff like that. That's my play in Madden if we ever play each other. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm
boring the shit out of him, bro. That's why he's yawning.
Nah, man. Like I said, I take a vacation day, and I feel like I did more work today than and I got up earlier. Like I got up earlier than what I would have done if I went to work. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I cry about sleep, and then I get a chance to do it, and I just don't do it.
Hey, brother, I feel you, bro. We both have 2 kids. My oldest is 5. So I haven't known sleep for like 5 years. Like, no lie.
I hear you.
I never get any.
Yeah, and I have my son will turn 6 tomorrow. I have one
by the way, on that.
Shout out to you, appreciate it. And the one that you saw on the channel the other day, I don't know if you watched that video, but long hair don't care. Yeah, he'll be 2 in September when we take down the Falcons. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's awesome, man.
But to finish that, I think we were on. I think Davion Taylor's the next up off the bench, and the way it looks with these linebackers, he can easily get some play. And then it's up to him to step in and make his mark, because there's been a couple players in this league who were 5th or 6th round, not 5th or 6th round, but like 5th or 6th or even 7th on the depth chart, and then they got their shot and they became something. And the one that just jumps to my mind, and it was in the Eagles game, but it wasn't the Eagles, it was against us, was we were playing the New York stinking Giants, right? And we knock out one of the receivers. We knock out another one of the receivers. I think we knocked out another one of the receivers. So once they went down 3 receivers, guess who stepped into the game? A guy who was supposed to be doo-doo, and Victor Cruz. And he torched us. And he started salsa dancing in the end zone. And from then on out, he was a household name. And he was just a guy who, if the Eagles don't injure their players, you never hear of Victor Cruz, because he goes multiple years unknown, doesn't get a chance, and bang, bada boom.
Yep. No, I 100% agree with you, man. I actually remember that because he was a problem for us for a while. He really was. He was a pain in our backside, no lie. So, speaking of wide receivers, I got to go to our defensive side of the ball after speaking about that. Do you expect anything from Kayvon Wallace this year? Because I expect very high things from this kid in year 2.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a peculiar situation with the safety position, for the simple fact that where is Ronnie McLeod going to be at? This is a second ACL, over 30. It's not a good combination. Anthony Harris looks to be a guy we're going to rely on for some heavy duty work on the defensive side. But when you look at whoever's left, Andrew Adams guy, I mean, Kayvon Wallace has no choice but to step up. And if you follow him on Twitter and stuff, he's definitely a guy who likes to talk his smack. I liked him coming out of Clemson. I like him in the box. I don't really like him having to play coverage deep. He kind of gets exposed then. But if you keep him in the box, watching tight ends and such, I think he can make an impact, especially year 2, really getting now more field time, more OTAs. I want to give credit to all the rookies, not just the Eagles, but every rookie that came through in the 2020 season, where it was the way we are talking, that's how they had to learn everything. And I just want to give them credit, and I don't want people to write them off just because of a bad COVID year. I think that would definitely not be smart to do, because some of these guys are going to come out and perform, and Kayvon Wallace could be one. I just remember him getting exposed by why am I losing all these guys' names? The tight end for the Niners, the really good one. How am I not? Kittle. What is wrong with me today? George Kittle.
I have him too some days, man.
And I mean, who wouldn't get exposed by Kittle in a one-on-one matchup, let alone a rookie safety who hasn't got much play? So I'm definitely interested to see. Hopefully Ronnie McLeod is good, because he was playing some good football to end his season last year. He was taking that leader role, that vocal role, and then he got hurt. So hopefully he can bounce back as the Nest out West bounces out.
Well, listen, real quick, I only got a couple more questions for you. We're going to do this for an hour, so we're almost at the end. We got 12 people in the chat. Please like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. At 100 subscribers, giving away a free Jalen Hurts jersey. So please get in as fast as possible before all those positions are taken up. I do appreciate you being on here, my guy. Seriously, I do. Thank you.
No doubt. So we did get 6 subscribers, though, in the time. Went from 79 to 85.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless. Thank you. So that leads me to last year. You were talking with the COVID and all that. Reagor and Travis, what's your expectations for them this year?
Reagor gets the bigger expectations, being a first-round pick, knowing that Justin Jefferson and him are always going to be compared for the rest of their lives, especially if Jaylen stays in Philly. I think he got not only COVID disruption, injury disruption, focus disruption, because he couldn't handle the social media world and the pressure. But the talent's there. I wasn't capping for him. The dude is legit when it comes to a guy who's only 5'10-ish, 5'11. He got a 40-something inch vertical. He's a guy that with that size you don't see take back shoulder fades and in the back of the end zone, but he was doing it in college. Can get under the ball on a deep ball, has solid hands. We just didn't get to see him play the way we wanted to in this year. And I think he came out a little bit more and was more confident under Jalen Hurts. It's just the truth. As Travis Fulgham goes, I think he has the opportunity to really make something of his name, but he has to have a better attitude. I believe, Alshon Jeffrey and these guys coming back hurt him, but what really hurt him is himself. You got to wait till your number's called and then just make an impact. As we didn't want him to get pulled out, and I agree, he got to be better than that. In a sense, he was showing some decline right around we were pulling him out, and when he got his time, he didn't capitalize on it. So definitely expect a big year from Jalen Reagor, and I'm looking for Travis Fulgham to make something, because at the end of the day, he was a practice squad guy for the Lions and the Packers. And if he wants to continue to bounce around the league on practice squads and get a chance every once in a while, well, that's what it looks like he's going to be. It's a contract year for Fulgham. He has to show that he can be a legit wide receiver on the Philadelphia Eagles or on another team in the NFL. And it starts now. You got one of the youngest groups of guys in the NFL. If you can't do it here, and I'm not saying these guys are just bad, they're young, but if you can't get your mind right here, then I don't know what you're going to do. So I think this is more for his football career. I think he has on the line. And Jalen Reagor just has, his reputation after a lackluster rookie season and being a first-round pick.
Now, I don't know if I'm going too far to say this, but you probably want Fulgham to succeed, because if Fulgham succeeds, it's less likely JJ makes his team, correct?
True. He would be, you drafted JJ Arcega-Whiteside to be what Fulgham was in them 4 weeks. That's what he did. A big body receiver. He wasn't, he caught that bomb against San Fran at the end, but he was doing more of these, dig routes, post routes, catching balls high pointing the ball. Like I said, when you look at the arm length of everybody on the team, which I did that in my Quez video, Quez is third. It goes JJ 1 and Travis 2. You know what I mean? So they're your big body receivers. You need one of them to really take the next step. And right now, I have absolutely no faith in JJ Arcega-Whiteside. So it definitely would have to be Travis, but it's all about his attitude, and consistency is key.
Hell yeah. I totally agree with all that. But, I'm definitely with you. I would choose Fulgham 99 times out of 100 over JJ. 100%. But, and you probably just answered this by saying what you said, but do you have a dark horse receiver?
Quez is my guy.
Yeah.
Quez is going to be in the lineup. And when I say in the lineup, I don't think he'll knock third, but I think he's going to be a guy who they're going to look at to put in situations early in the season. He's going to make an impact play, and then he's going to be that guy where when you have 3 wide receivers, he's not the guy who gets out first, but, a couple 3 set receivers later, there he is. A 4 set receiver, there he is. Now, you're going to see him implemented more. That's where I'm going. I do think I don't have him being in the top 3 starters to start the season, but by the first quarter, he will be getting steady playing time, and then it's just going to go up from there. That's my guy. I was on Quez Watkins. You weren't subscribed to me back then, but listen, the combine happened. I watched it. I watched Justin Jefferson run. I watched Henry Ruggs run. I watched Duvernay run. I forgot all the people who run. I know Claypool didn't run. I watched a lot of people run, and I said, who is this dude, Quez Watkins? So I looked him up. You know what I mean? And I made a video on it that this could be a sleeper. I said a 5th or 6th round sleeper. I'm not going to lie, though. Then, LB, 500, Gay, everybody started, we all started getting on the thing. And I said, well, maybe because of that 4.35 speed being second to Henry Ruggs, I made another video then talking about maybe he could move up to a 4th round pick. But when we got him in the 6th round, that was my initial thing. And I said that way before I said that in a video of, my gosh, I was probably, it was crazy.
I have a similar situation right now. During the draft this year, I found a wide receiver from Arkansas State, Jonathan Adams Jr. He's like 6'4", and he's just ridiculous. And somebody out there started calling him, the next coming of CJ a little bit. They remind him a lot of CJ, how he plays, big body, great hands. No lie, I wanted him so bad. I was petitioning for us to get him because I really liked his skill. And dude, in one of the clips that he has, he literally took out 3 dudes in a run block as a wide receiver, just wiped them completely out. No lie. Dang. And the dude went and scored a touchdown. I was like, yo, we need this guy. Big body receiver, not afraid to be physical, not afraid to run block. Wouldn't you know, Detroit Lions picked him.
Hey, that could be very interesting. Yeah.
I'm telling you, watch out for that kid. He was undrafted free agent, but Detroit grabbed him. But he's been compared to CJ, and I'm interested to see him, dude, because I was excited about him coming out of the draft.
That's going to be very interesting and very demoralizing if it happens. But just to hit on Richie MC's thing, yeah, definitely. I think Hightower is going to be a guy that kind of falls down the depth chart, might make it at the end, maybe the practice squad. But shout out to the chat. Everybody's saying that it's Quest season and whatnot. I'm definitely interested to see what he does this season. And if he's trash, come let me know about it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I'm with you, dude. I have very, very high hopes for Quez. Like, and I will tell you this hands down. If Fulgham is not careful and the rumors are true about him, dude, you saw the videos of Watkins. He's been out there putting in the work. He might be able to take this from him if Fulgham's not careful. Because if Fulgham slacks in any way, this is not Doug's era. This is Nick's era. And he's all about competition and 100% energy all the time. Motivation. If he feels he's not motivated for 1 minute and he sees Quez is, you might see a change of the helm. I don't know. But we all know what Quez has been doing and the work he's been putting in. So,
yeah, it's definitely going to translate.
Yeah. So, this is my last question. Anyway, we're coming up on 54 minutes here, so we're just now approaching an hour. So that's great. We pretty much did our hour, so that's awesome. But one last question that I got is the halfback position. How do you see it looking coming week 1?
Week 1, I think we have 3 running backs on the roster. And if that is the case, I got Miles Sanders. I think I think Kerryon Johnson might get the heads up over Jordan Howard. And then I got Kenneth Gainwell as the 3rd back. They might go 4, but I see him going 3 because I think if you want to keep the extra guys, you got to do it at the wide receiver position where we are young and it could be more interchangeable. I think they go 3, and that's my 3. Miles, Kerryon, Gainwell. If they did go 4, would it be Howard over Scott? It depends. Scott has that tenure too. That's like veteran minimum, so they probably would go Howard. It's interesting, but we do have a lot of potential in the running back room. I like the 1-2 punch, whether it's Miles and Kerryon, Miles and Howard, and who knows if we get some 2-back sets where we can throw the ball to Kenneth Gainwell. The dude is like a baby receiver. He can definitely walk his way up to the slot. That's where Nick can get creative. You got Sanders in the backfield. You got Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield. Your motion, Kenneth Gainwell now goes to the slot. You're like, what? I thought it was a 2-back set. You call you audible your defense for a two-back set. He flashes out to the slot, and he runs routes crispy like a slot receiver. Good hands. I'm expecting to see him flash in the 2021 season.
Well, man, you took my one question I had for you, and that was like, do you see us running a lot of double halfback sets? But the answer is no. So,
well, I'm not sure if we'll do it. I think Nick is going to have everything on the table. There's nothing that Indy did really to make me say, he's going to. But you draft a guy like Kenneth Gainwell, who can flash in the slot and in the backfield, and it's good to motion. When you motion any player or multiple players, it's not just like, ooh, you see the guy moving and now you got to adjust your defense. When you adjust your defense, what is it doing?
Yeah.
It's showing your hand. You know what I mean? A defensive coordinator who's going against a guy like Jalen Hurts is going to say, you know what, we're going to try to disguise this stuff. They'll put things in different shades. So Jalen Hurts got to say, is this man coverage? Is this zone coverage? Is this cover 2, cover 3? Because if Jalen Hurts thinks it's cover 2, but it's cover 3, and Jalen goes hike, quick pass, oops, the guy's right there, interception. So when you audible your wide receivers, your running backs, and guys follow or don't follow or slide or pull, well, Jalen says, ha, gotcha. Thank you. It's like showing your hand real quick. Boom. I saw it. I know your next move. And not necessarily exactly no, but motion for a young quarterback is great. For a struggling quarterback is great.
For sure. Because it makes the defense show their hand. Yes.
Yes, sir.
But, I mean, the only reason that I don't have Howard making this team, and I actually have 4, but my 4th is Killings. And that's only due to special teams being like a punt and kick return guy. I think he would actually excel at doing that. But the reason I say we let Howard go is because I'm not worried about anyone picking him up. He's easier to let go and easier to bring back if we need him for injury sake. I can't say if we would let Carry-On go that he's going to be there in 2-3 weeks. I can't say for, any of these guys, but at least because of Jordan Howard's injury history and, everything last year with the Dolphins and then us, it's like, I don't think anyone's going to jump on him that quick. So he'll be there,
Yeah, and that is so crazy. And Richie, Jordan Howard would be the veteran. He came into the league when Zeke came in the league. I think that's what now, 5 years? He's a veteran. But the downfall of Jordan Howard with the Eagles is wild. The 3 years he played with the Chicago Bears, if you look at 2017 to the year he came to the Philadelphia Eagles, every running back in the NFL add up all from, and they could have been. I'm not just saying that the players who were drafted in 17, but if you start at 17 and you go all the way to 2019, so the 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, 3 years, right? He was second to Ezekiel Elliott in rushing yards. He was a bulldozer. He was a monster of a running back. And I was very excited when we got him, and he excelled early. But ever since the stinger happened, he couldn't get on the field. He goes to Miami. He can't get on the field. Comes back to us and barely plays. That is horrible. I mean, Jordan Howard a couple years ago was a top 10 back. He had probably been like around 8. Maybe.
Well, 6. I don't know. He hold the rushing. What was it? The first 3 years, he was the leading rusher of his. I think first he was right behind Zeke. Yeah, like it was ridiculous, but he had really good yards. So yeah, I have to put him up in at least the top 6 or 5, especially his first 3 years. I won't take that away from him.
Facts.
But, yeah, man, so we've officially hit an hour here. I appreciate you so much for coming on and doing this for me on the road to 100 subs. Only been doing this for like a month and a couple of weeks, so I am blessed to have all the subscribers I have already. I appreciate each and every one of you. Philly Mike, you know how I feel about you, dude. I love what you do. I love what you do for all us little guys. You, Joe Castro, Philly 500. Shout out the Bird Gang, Birdman 951. All you, Lindy End Zone, Mitch, everyone, all of us, man. There's so many of us. You know, Philly Foothills, everyone. Philly Notion. Uh, JC, Eagles Talk, everyone, man. Y'all are a big inspiration to me. Like, yeah, we're making YouTube go green. That's my new slogan, man. Like, no lie. We're making it go green. Eagles are just taking over YouTube, and I'm loving it. This community is an amazing community, and I am so thankful to be a part of it.
Hey, shout out to you. And as I just looked real quick, you got another one. So 86 subscribers.
Thank you. God bless.
That's a nice 7-piece in an hour video. Victory's just getting in. Like this man extra late.
What's
extra
good, my
late.
guy?
But yeah, man. So 14 more. And you said you wanted to get it by what? Tuesday?
Tuesday by 100 by Tuesday. Yeah, I gave Eagles community 7 days. I was like, yo, there's hundreds of thousands of us. 30 subs in 7 days should not be hard. It really shouldn't. Well, we're almost there now.
You got 16 of them because you only need 14 more. And I think you're going to do it. I got faith.
I hope, man. I just appreciate you for coming on and helping me and all your support, dude. I've been wanting to do this with you for a long time, so I'm glad we could. I'm honored to have you on my show, man. And anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome.
No problem. No problem. 27 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, you know what to do. I see you, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through. It's all right. I took a V-Day, but that's why I took a vacation day just to get on his channel. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And hey, just so you guys know, I have off all next week, so I'm free all week long. If anyone wants to collab, do anything, let me know. You know, so I'm on vacay. Yo, what's up, Yee? How you doing, man? West Coast Birds in the house. Thank you for the support, dude. Jordy, thank you for being here, man. MG, appreciate you, dude. Thank you for coming in. Hit me up on Twitter, my guy. Vic3, thank you for stopping in, bro. I know you just got off work, but you know what? That's hey, respect, dude. You gotta do you. Thanks. So until next time, my guy, why don't we end it here and, you know, tell them where they can find you real quick? Not like anybody needs to know, because, I mean.
Is that right? You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the host of the Philly Talk podcast. I go by Philly Mike. That's all you got to do is type Philly Mike or the Philly Talk podcast. You'll see this mug pop up. Appreciate AK Eagle. The Eagle Uncensored podcast is coming up. It's coming up.
I appreciate you, man, and it's been an honor having you on. Until next time, everyone. Much love, much respect. Thank you for all the love and support. Let's make YouTube go green. And until next time, fly, Eagles, fly. God bless. Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.